Wisdom does not shout. It moves in silence, like a shadow stretching before dawn. It is the quiet blade that cuts through chaos, the calm eye in the storm. To be dangerously wise is to carry a flame no wind can extinguish. Marcus Aurelius taught that wisdom is not a prize to parade, but a fortress to inhabit. It is not the quick recall of facts, but the slow, deliberate art of knowing when to speak and when to hold still. It is the mastery of self before the mastery of the world. True wisdom is forged in fire, the fire of pain, loss, and relentless observation. It demands resilience, the kind that does not crumble under pressure, but bends and returns, stronger and more refined. This is a strength that never shouts, but its presence is undeniable. To be dangerously wise is to see the hidden patterns in the noise, to feel the tension before it surfaces, to understand the lies beneath the words. It is a mind sharpened like a sword, not for battle with others, but to cut through distraction, deception, and doubt within oneself. This wisdom dwells in patience and discipline. It is the refusal to be baited by fury or seduced by fear. It is the unshakable calm of a soul anchored deep, a spirit that does not waver no matter how fierce the storm. The Stoics, with Marcus Aurelius as their guide, taught that this wisdom is born from self-awareness and the discipline of desire. It requires broad learning, yes, but more than knowledge. It demands transformation. It is to train not just the intellect, but the heart and will, to live aligned with nature and reason. Dangerous wisdom is not arrogance. It is relentless preparation, a quiet power always present but never flaunted. It moves through the world unseen, but those who encounter it feel its weight, a gravity of calm certainty. To walk this path is to become a living testament to the Stoic ideal: clarity in thought, resilience in emotion, strength in silence. This is the beginning of true mastery. This is the essence of being dangerously wise. Chapter 1. Build the inner citadel, the fortress of the soul. The inner citadel is not a fortress built from bricks or stone, but a sanctuary of the soul, a bastion against the relentless tide of external chaos. Imagine a fortress so resolute that no insult, no calamity, no betrayal, no fleeting praise can pierce its walls. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Each trial, each moment of restraint, each deliberate choice to command your mind rather than be commanded by it is a stone laid in this fortress. But how do you build it? Not with grand gestures, but through tiny acts of self-command. A breath held before anger, a refusal to indulge a petty desire, the discipline to face fear without flinching. The citadel grows in these moments, hidden, silent, relentless. This inner fortress is where your true power begins. It is not coldness or detachment, but clarity, the ability to observe your emotions without becoming their prisoner. Anger is named as anger, fear as fear. Recognition strips them of tyranny. It is the battlefield of thought, the crucible where perception is refined into wisdom. The citadel holds because it is built on unshakable self-awareness, on the understanding that the only true domain you govern is your own mind. Chapter 2. See through the veil, mastery of perception. The world is a theatre, and every actor wears a mask. People speak words that are but shadows of their true intent. To be dangerously wise is to see beyond this veil, beyond the surface of speech, beyond the mere motions of behavior. This requires a mind sharpened by patience and acute observation. Marcus Aurelius counsels, if someone does wrong, it is because they are misguided or because they are weak. Understand this, and you will not be angry. You learn to listen not just to what is said, but what is unsaid. The hesitation in a voice, the flicker of the eye, the shift of posture. these are the language of truth. To see the hidden currents beneath shallow waters is to wield a subtle but powerful form of intelligence. Dangerous wisdom is never hasty in judgment. It gathers data quietly, holds back its own assumptions, and tests every impression against reason. This perception is not cynical suspicion, but discerning clarity. It is the difference between seeing a mask and seeing the man beneath. And in that difference lies power. Power to respond with precision, to navigate deception, and to disarm conflict before it erupts. Chapter 3. Master the storm within. Resilience forged in fire life is an unrelenting storm. The winds of misfortune howl, the waves of suffering batter. To be dangerously wise is not to evade the storm, but to learn to dance within it, to bend and not break, to endure and to transform pain into strength. Marcus Aurelius lived this truth daily. The emperor who bore the weight of an empire while facing personal loss and plague. His words echo, "You have power over your mind. Realize this, and you will find strength." This mastery is the essence of resilience, the art of embracing suffering as a necessary teacher rather than a cruel adversary. When pain arrives, the dangerously wise do not retreat into bitterness or despair, but lean into the lesson it offers. It is not numbness or avoidance, but a fierce engagement with reality. It is the acceptance that hardship is not punishment, but the forge of character. The soul is tempered, like steel, through fire. In mastering the storm within, you become unbreakable, not because you are untouched by pain, but because pain no longer controls you. You rise again and again, like the tide returning, unstoppable and inexhaustible. Chapter 4. Speak less, weigh more. The power of silence and intent. Words are the instruments of influence, but in the wrong hands they become weapons of destruction. Dangerous wisdom knows this. It is the art of speaking only when speech serves, and holding silence when silence speaks louder. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Words must be chosen with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel, deliberate, purposeful, and weighted with meaning. The dangerously wise understand that too often speech is wasted on noise, on boasting, on fleeting moments of vanity. They practice restraint, listening more than speaking, observing more than reacting. Silence is not absence but presence, presence that commands attention and respect. It is the quiet flame that warms without burning, the still water that reflects the deepest truths. In this discipline lies power. To speak less is to wield words like a rare currency, valued, impactful, and remembered. The dangerously wise understand that silence often reveals more than speech, and restraint is itself a form of strength. Chapter 5. Align with nature's law. Harmony in the cosmic order. The Stoics believed that everything unfolds within a vast, interconnected order governed by reason, the Logos. To be dangerously wise is to recognize this harmony and align oneself with it, rather than resist the natural flow of life. Marcus Aurelius proclaimed, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs." This is not passive fatalism, but active engagement with reality's rhythm. Resistance breeds suffering, acceptance breeds peace. To flow with nature's current is to find a hidden strength that no external force can undermine. Living in accordance with nature means understanding the impermanence of all things, the unity of all beings, and the inevitability of change. It is the wisdom to embrace what is, rather than cling to what was, or wish for what never will be. This alignment is the foundation of calm. The dangerously wise know that the river shapes the stone by persistent flow, not by brute force. They move through life with the steady assurance of one who trusts the unfolding path. Chapter 6. Become the unseen force, the quiet power of presence. True power is invisible. It is felt, but never flaunted. It moves silently through the world, like gravity itself, inescapable, inevitable, irresistible. To be dangerously wise is to become this unseen force, a presence that commands without noise, influences without coercion, and endures without exhaustion. Marcus Aurelius embodied this power, a ruler who carried the weight of an empire with quiet dignity, a thinker who bore suffering with unshaken resolve. His wisdom was not broadcast but radiated, felt by all who crossed his path. This is patience made manifest, endurance refined to a subtle art, and self-trust that needs no validation. It is a flame that burns steady and deep, a mountain unmoved by storms. You become a force that unsettles chaos by its mere presence, a calm in the eye of every storm. This is the ultimate mastery, the power to live fully, fiercely, and peacefully in a world that is often anything but. Conclusion: the path of dangerous wisdom. To be dangerously wise is to become a guardian of your own soul. It is the mastery of mind, emotion, and spirit, an unyielding commitment to clarity, resilience, and purpose. Marcus Aurelius's philosophy calls you to transformation, not of the world, but of yourself, to face your inner darkness, to rise from suffering, to live with reason and grace. This wisdom is a quiet revolution, a steady flame, a dangerous, beautiful mastery of self that no storm can extinguish. Walk this path with courage, become dangerously wise, and carry a calm strength that no chaos can ever take away.